Sully, where the hell have you been? Could use some help back there.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I got a little turned around in these ruins.
You? Lost? Ugh, there's a shock.
Smartass. So, what the hell is all this stuff, anyway?
Not sure. Looks Javanese, but that would make it over 1,000 years old.
Yeah, 5,000 miles away from home.
Right.
Holy shit.
What you just listened to was the audio file of a cutscene from Uncharted 4. Although, not the same Uncharted 4 you may be familiar with. Found buried in the files of a beta version of the game, this is one of the few remaining pieces of Amy Hennig's Uncharted 4 that publicly exists. To better understand the significance of why a fairly short piece of audio deserves a whole video made about it, I need to supply you with some context. Back in 2018, I managed to get my hands on the files from the Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta, which initially ran in November of 2015. I dug through the files in the hopes of finding any unused assets that hadn't made it into the final game. The multiplayer beta had mostly been scrubbed of single-player files, but I looked anyway. In doing so, I came across an audio file belonging to a cutscene that wasn't in the final game. It was located in a folder that was normally used for background sound effects, not cutscene audio. It was possibly misplaced there during development and missed being removed, which they had done with the rest of the game's cutscene audio. With nothing else to go off of, the only hints as to the origins of this cutscene lay within the file name and the contents of the audio itself. Let's start with the file name. To understand that, I need to explain the way Naughty Dog names their files. They tend to name assets related to certain levels with a 3-letter prefix, that being the first 3 letters of the corresponding level's name. It's pretty simple. However, when I show you the level names of Uncharted 4, you'll notice that RAI doesn't match anything in this list. It's only when we take a look at the levels mentioned in the game's script files that we find a match. Rain, which is actually short for rainforest. The game contains scripts for a number of unused levels, some more complete than others. In this instance, Rain contains 14 script files. Now, obviously not having the level data itself, we don't know what the level looked like or how long it was. But by digging through these script files, we can get an idea of some interactions we would have had within the level itself. During the creation of a level, and before they bring in voice actors, Naughty Dog will often include placeholder dialogue that pops up above the characters' heads, as seen here. This placeholder dialogue is stored inside script files, so here's what I found inside these Rain scripts. Now, the order in which these lines are meant to play is not noted in the file, so I had to organise it as best as I could. Please excuse my attempt at voice acting. The temple. How can I get up there? That climb looks pretty dangerous. That looks like a way up. Looks like I could attach my rope to that. That seems doable. Looks like a group of pirates. I'll have to avoid them. I may be able to deal with those two quietly. The remains of a pirate. Looks like he was chained here. If I could just get past that statue, I'd be in the temple. I can't quite pull this out from here. Maybe I can pull it out with the rope? There's too many enemies nearby to do this. We also have a list of the checkpoint names from the level. Once again, organised to the best of my ability. This doesn't tell us too much, just that Nate fights some enemies, enters a temple, and then fights some more inside. There is a pretty good chance the temple cutscene mentioned at the end is where our cutscene audio comes from. Speaking of that audio, let's give it another listen and see what we can gather from it.
Shit, easy.
Sully, where the hell have you been? Could use some help back there.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I got a little turned around in these ruins.
You? Lost? Ugh, there's a shock.
Smartass. So, what the hell is all this stuff anyway?
Not sure. Looks Javanese, but that would make it over 1,000 years old.
And 5,000 miles away from home.
Right.
Holy shit.
So, Nate comments on some stuff being Javanese, and Sully says it's 5,000 miles away from home. The Javanese are a large ethnic group native to Java, Indonesia. Thanks, Wikipedia. Which, as Sully mentions, is close enough to 5,000 miles away from the rough in-game location of Libertalia. If you look up what Javanese sculptures look like, you see a lot of stuff like this, which lines up with a lot of early images and concept art from this game. Interestingly enough, this piece in particular was actually used as the placeholder main menu artwork during development. Not only that, but the island multiplayer map from this game features some of these very same sculptures around the level. Also, don't you think the structures in the middle of this map give off a temple vibe? It certainly doesn't match any other structures we find on the island in the final game. Now, this might sound crazy, but I believe this map was made from leftover pieces of this same scrapped rainforest level. Don't believe me? Let's take a look at the file name of this multiplayer map. Yeah, the exact same prefix. Also, if we note the script called RAI Demo Outro, the demo part is interesting because I also believe that they were originally planning to show this level at E3 2014, but then Amy Hennig left in March and things probably weren't going very well, so they opted to have a smaller trailer instead, pushing a gameplay reveal to the PlayStation Experience in December. By that point, the story had been changed and a bunch of levels had been cut and reworked, including the rainforest level. The level that we were shown at that event is the island level we know from the final game, but I think they reused a lot of ideas from the original rainforest level. A waterfall, dead pirates, a piton, a startling reunion with somebody, only this time it's Sam instead of Sully. I suppose outside of confirmation from Naughty Dog, we'll never know for sure, but I think it's a strong possibility. So, where does that leave us? We've got some more context for where this cutscene audio came from, as well as what it may have turned into during development, but we're still left with questions. What was Sully doing in a temple in the middle of a rainforest? What made that noise at the end of the cutscene that spooked them? Even the bigger questions of why did Naughty Dog get rid of Amy Hennig and rework Uncharted 4 so drastically? Many people may jump to the Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley rumour of many years ago, but I never really bought that myself and did also get debunked many years later. I suppose the only person that really knows is Amy herself, and I kind of doubt she wants to talk about it at this point. But I digress. Going back to the cutscene, not having a visual counterpart to this audio is a shame, because it makes us fill in the blanks with our own imagination, and that can be dangerous. our own imagination can invent something much cooler than what may have actually existed, causing us to lament the loss of something that maybe wasn't even there in the first place. Whatever their reasons were for this stuff getting scrapped, we do at least have these fragments that let us take a small peek behind the curtain of this game's development. And that's better than nothing. Thank you for watching.